Okay, so we have this message. Before we get into this, we have this message from Numera himself. Here is the new Final Fantasy VII Rebirth trailer, the second part of the trilogy. That was first revealed at Summer Game Fest. Take a look at our previously posted Q&A alongside it for better understanding of the trailer content, which makes sense. All the latest information will be shared on this account, so please follow us and watch out for future updates. All right, here we go. YouTube, hello. We are going to be breaking down the trailer that just dropped right here. And oh boy, is there a lot to unpack. We're going to be going deep. There it is. All right, before we get into the trailer, at the very beginning, this is already confirmed. Tweet number 1. We're working on nailing down a release date. We now know it's going to be early 2024. We don't have an exact date yet, okay? That's fine. All right. The second one. How will players journey through Midgar have a high degree of freedom with a myriad of different stories, as well as this one. Players will witness a chain of narrative developments that lie at the very heart of Final Fantasy VII's story while discovering each character's destiny. Last I checked, these characters we're about to see.
At the scene of this terrible disaster caused by a massive tornado which swept through sectors 0, 1, and 2. Amidst the wreck.
So, okay, let's listen to what he says here. This is actually very important.
Terrible disaster caused by. We're still here at the scene of this terrible disaster caused by a massive tornado which swept through sectors 0, 1, and 2. Amidst the wreckage of the expressway, search and rescue operations are already in progress.
So there's a massive tornado, right? And now I'm gonna do this. So at the very end of Remake, right, we fight Sephiroth. Shout out to this guy's hard mode boss fight footage he uploaded him fighting Sephiroth. So this is right, supposed to be the glimpse of Meteor. If you played the original during the very end of 7, this is pretty much what happens. There's these fire tornadoes, and then this happens. So this event must have broken the timeline, because this is pieces of Midgar. I'm assuming this is like the eye of the storm of the tornado behind them. As you can see, there's flying around, so this is the tornado. So directly from this, right, coming back to here.
2. Amidst the wreckage of the expressway, search and rescue operations.
And of course, right, the expressway is where we fight the thing that chases us outside of Midgar in the original. It was a fight on the bike in Remake, and then we have the we fight the Harbingers of Fate, and then we fight Sephiroth.
Progress.
Or the vision of him, I should say. So that has to be post that event, right? And then here we are. Where is this? Here, this has to be us leaving Midgar for the first time.
Wow. Just look at it all. It's so green. Even after everything we've done to it, it's still going strong.
It may look that way, but in reality, it's barely hanging on.
So they're talking about how the planet is doing, Mako being drained from the planet due to Shinra, right? That's got to be what they're referencing right there. Because how beautiful the world is, right? Seeing all these flowers and plants is not something anyone sees in Midgar because there's no any sort of wildlife. It is completely industrialized. So that's got to be what this is right here. And we're seeing this for the first time. How we get to the road where we meet Chocobo Bill and all that takes place, I don't know. But this looks like the very, very first opening scenes. And this, I'm assuming, is supposed to be representative of the north side of Midgar. When you go out, there was a coast along the side before we make our way over to Calm.
Was wondering,
What's Cloud been doing
Dear.
these past 5 years?
So this is, I don't know if this is going to be open world or if these is going to be zones. Let's check the tweets. Players will be able to journey across the wide and multifaceted world with a high degree of freedom, experience a myriad of different stories. So I think this is the only one pertaining to exploration. Blah, 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 blah. Back into the trailer here.
Where's he been?
And you're asking.
These areas could be anywhere. Let's check out the HUD as well. We have our goal, and then we have this other. Normally, this was like a side quest marker, if I remember correctly, in remake.
Wondering, what's Cloud been doing these past 5 years? Where's he been?
So let's also go back. Let's listen to the dialogue, and what Tifa's saying might be Nibelheim, right?
Wow. Just look at it all. It's so green. Even after everything we've done to it, it's still going strong.
It may look that way, but in reality, it's barely hanging on.
Was wondering, what's Cloud been doing these past 5 years? Where's he been?
And you're asking me this?
This is gonna sound crazy, but as far as I know,
That's got to be Chocobo Bill's farm right here, but still listening to Tifa talking to Aerith.
but as far as I know, Cloud was never in Nibelheim 5 years ago.
I'm going to take that out because that's technically spoilers in case anybody who hasn't played. If you played the original, you know the situation that goes on with that. If you've played through Crisis Core, you also know what goes on with that as well. But yeah, so this has got to be back when they are either having this discussion in calm, most likely talking about the flashback.
The life stream.
And then here we are with the elder of Cosmo Canyon. He is pretty much the grandfather of Red 13.
It is the very essence of our star.
And this is the section one of the sections I'm most looking forward to in the entire game is Cosmo Canyon. Especially if you can tell from the last video we did, I had the Cosmo Canyon theme playing. So one of my favorite Final Fantasy songs. I'm very excited for this.
The life stream. It is the very essence of our star.
Yep.
The blood coursing through its planetary veins.
According to Hojo,
So this looks like the caves underneath Nibelheim. That's going to be my guess.
they're connected to Sephiroth.
Whose voice is this?
Veins.
According to Hojo, they're connected to Sephiroth. Shadows of the Mad, I believe he called them.
Sephiroth was in Midgar. We fought him. Whatever happened, he's alive.
But why come back now? After 5 years, doing who knows what?
To go back for a second, I'm curious if this is Vincent's voice. Because Vincent would know about the situation regarding his character, his background. Again, I'm not going to get into that. Sephiroth, Hojo.
According to Hojo, they're connected to Sephiroth. Shadows of the Mad, I believe he called them.
I'm also really quick. I'm going to go back and replay this for you guys. I'm going to move this up so you guys can see the HUD and what it says underneath here. Because that is going to be relevant, especially a little bit further into this trailer here.
Planetary veins.
According to Hojo,
We have the
they're
commands,
connected to
normal.
Sephiroth. Shadows of the
Here, this is somewhere more open. We can press R1 to call Chocobo. So that is going to be a one way that we can explore through the open areas that we'll be able to explore here once we leave Midgar. So that's actually really convenient. But this looks like we're going towards Nibelheim here, especially the pipeline, right? The reactor that is up there. That is my guess as to where this location is. This could also be after that as we make our way towards the Golden Saucer area as well.
Mad, I believe he called them.
And I do want to say My guess is his voice is Vincent. It just matches like it would be his character as well too.
According to Hojo, they're connected to Sephiroth. Shadows of the Man, I believe he called them.
Sephiroth was in Midgar.
Some
We
story.
fought him. Whatever happened, he's alive.
But why come back now? After 5 years, doing who knows what.
Well now, think we woke it up.
Angered it, more like.
I'm gonna be honest, I thought this was going to be Materia Keeper, but it's not. Because Materia Keeper is like a it's like a spider dragon thing. So first, boom, confirmed. Red 13 is a playable character. Alright. And then here we're gonna see his unique ability when it comes to combat is going to be whatever this is, vengeance mode. So wherever we are, we just have Barrett and Red, and I'm not sure where this could be at, where they get separated individually. So I'm assuming this is again under Mount Nibelheim inside the caves. Before we get to Nibelheim, there is a little bit of a path we must ascend to get there.
Feast your eyes on the Turk's
And
latest
then we have Elena, who is the other Turk we have not met. So I was curious to see what she looked like. And I think her character model looks really good.
and greatest, Elena.
She may be new, but she's still a Turk.
That looks like an in-game cinematic for maybe a cutscene of like a transition phase here. Here we are, some open world that we're exploring as well. We have this new indicator on the screen as well as our goal. This goal indicator is the same as before, but whatever the hell that is, that's brand new. I've never seen that as well. Again, mountain ranges. This could be before Nibelheim. This could be as soon as we get out of Midgar. Who knows? But again, this doesn't necessarily confirm an open world, but the areas that we'll be able to go into are going to be way more open. Again, everything that we had on Remake was a very linear path, and places weren't as big to explore. So this is going to be a really nice feature that will at least have some open area to kind of explore, run around, see what we could find. Well, I want to go back to that really fast. What was that? Hold on. Aerith has a different ability, actually. I'm glad I noticed this too. Ward Shift. Cloud still has Punisher mode. That is the same. I'm glad that's still the same. I actually really like that. Ward Shift is different. I'm actually okay with that. I felt like her triangle ability was pretty meh. So something different this time around, which will be nice. Coming back here. So we're in Punisher mode, and then it looks like we're just endlessly comboing. Okay, this is outside Junon. We get to see the cannon. Holy shit. And there it is. There's the airship right there, baby. Wow, that is actually so sick. I didn't notice this originally. This is a 3-minute trailer, and we're already 2 minutes in. Holy shit, this is a long one. Red. Again, vengeance mode. He's just doing normal attacks. I do think it's also important to point out there's these little bars here, which is entirely new. Outside of our ATB, our MP, our HP, and our limit, those are all the same. What these little marks indicate is going to be different. These might be resources that we have to recharge in order to use our unique abilities for each character. Maybe that way we can't just spam them. Like I know for Cloud, Punisher mode was almost always the way to go unless you're going to get hit. Or if you were just endlessly comboing, you would get hit, you could get staggered more easily. But anyways, as well. Commands menu, and I've noticed it's been a red materia down there each time. And then this is also interesting to point out as well. Let's go back here. So this is a different fight in that same area right outside Junon. We have Aerith, Cloud, and Tifa, and this almost looks like a joint attack. So here we have another one. This one looks with Yuffie and with Red. And now I'm going to go back to the tweet. This is kind of what I came to mind when watching the trailer. New comrades will join you in battle, and you can cooperate with other party members in even closer ways before. So what this kind of looks like to me is like a cross attack. To go back to the oldest one I can remember, my favorite RPG of all time, Chrono Trigger, doing something like cross slash between Chrono and Frog. This is kind of the different idea that I'm getting with this, like a joint attack, or like these technique attacks that we can get with different party members. So I'm hoping that we can get doubles or maybe even triple unique techniques, something ideally with maybe Cloud, Tifa, and Aerith, I think would probably be one, or maybe even Cloud, Barret, and Tifa for one. I don't know. That's my guess. It's kind of what this appears to be, because it's cinematic as we're going through this. And I just want to go through as these are happening too. Nothing's being entered into the commands, right? From Remake, when you press the button, you would see it light up, showing that the command went in. These almost look like cinematics. See another one with Cloud and Barret.
Keep it away from me!
And I think this is interesting that this is Jenova and Yuffie is not having it. And this looks like this is on the boat. I'm trying to tell, I wanted to come back here and look at the background. And I know, I'm sorry, we're jumping around a shit ton. There's so much going on. Again, another indicator looks like a chocobo there as well. Yep, so this is 100% on the boat the next time we fight Jenova.
They say she's a monster, that she can peer inside you, into the very depths of your soul, that she can become the...
So again, when we fight Jenova, it completely changes the background, unless this is a different Jenova fight, but I don't think it would be. This looks like the same thing happened when we fought Jenova in Remake. The entire arena and everything around us changed, right? As we fought her.
Those you hate, those you fear, those you love.
And let's listen to what
Those
Sephiroth says.
Into the very depths of a monster. They say she's a monster, that she can peer inside you, into the very depths of your soul, that she can become those you hate, those you fear, those you love.
Green. Yeah.
You murdered my dad!
The flashback.
You burned my village!
Also, Cloud
Love.
here.
Green. Yeah.
I'm assuming this is his sketchy flashbacks. He is imagining himself as one of these guys. This could also be when it's something that triggers in his head leading up to an incident where this place takes place. Again, for sake of story, possible story spoilers, I'm not going to get into that. As we get closer to a certain part of the game, if that is in this part, which I'm thinking it will be, it's going to be 2 discs, which we'll see here in a minute, that maybe this is a flashback that he's having, or sorry, not a flashback, but something that's processing in his head with the issues that Cloud has.
You murdered my dad! You burned my village!
You know that I killed her. So, who is she?
Wait. What? Listen to what he says again.
So, who is she?
Sorry.
She.
You murdered my dad! You burned my village!
You know that I killed her. So, who is she?
What? I didn't catch that. So, okay. Is he insinuating that Tifa's dead? Bro, I don't know what's real anymore and what's going to happen with this timeline or anything. I feel like with the ending of Remake, there's like not just 2 timelines, right? Because we saw Zack alive at the end of Remake. Maybe there's like 1200. I don't know. Because Tifa was never dead, and I don't know who else he could be talking about there, unless they just are using that to throw the context of it off for us.
So, who is she? You know that I killed her. So, who is she?
You know that I killed her, so who is she? I don't know what else that could mean. There's my video. Bro, I don't know, man. This isn't our old school. This is not our old school Final Fantasy VII. This is totally different. Just be prepared for that. 'Cause I don't know, man. But yeah, I think that's it for the breakdown of this trailer. Wow, dude, I'm probably gonna keep watching this, but I mean, I think we've got everything from it. Or at least we got enough from it. We probably didn't get everything, but that is okay. Yeah. Wow. I'm so hyped for this game. Holy shit. So just knowing that everything is going to be, not everything's going to be different, but different things will happen. Anything is possible at this point in regards to characters, their fates, things like that. And of course, right, I want to come back to here. The final one I think that makes the most sense here. This is what kind of rings the most truth here at the very end. Players will witness a chain of narrative developments that lie at the very heart of Final Fantasy VII's story, while discovering each character's destiny. Does that mean we're going to know what happens by the end of Rebirth? I don't know. That's such an interesting point to make. If it's 2 discs, and this is just me thinking out loud and theory crafting, and this isn't, I'm not betting on this, but what if we technically beat the game in Rebirth, but things are different in the 3rd part, where we're dealing with different timeline stuff, or it's a different timeline or something like that. Because discovering each character's destiny, players will witness a chain of narrative developments that lie at the very heart of Final Fantasy VII's story, while discovering each character's destiny. That kind of sounds definitive, the way I'm reading that, interpreting it, but it could also not be. So that's gonna be that for this. Holy moly. Early 2024, I'm assuming it's gonna be the 1st quarter. So either January, February, or March of 2024. Which I originally thought would be the case too, because I don't think it makes sense for Rebirth to also compete with 16 in regards to different game awards, accolades, things like that, since they'll be different years. But leave it to Final Fantasy again to make a game where we need multiple discs on a PS5 of all things too. So that is I'm not gonna lie, I kind of miss having multiple discs. Thinking about like I just the fat cassette, it was all cheap plastic and it had the different little pieces in it, and you had your 3 or 4 discs depending on which Final Fantasy it was. But that's going to be it, guys. Wow, that was not what I was expecting, and we got a little bit more than what I was in store for. That was incredible. I think maybe now is when we start to get more media and interviews, probably following Summer Games Fest. People will be talking to Nomura, and some of the other people of the Final Fantasy VII Remake Trilogy team, and we'll probably be getting more information here, especially after Final Fantasy 16 has released. But holy moly, what incredible trailer. I cannot wait. But that's going to be it, guys. Thank you so much. Again, stay here for all the FF7 Rebirth content that you heart desires. I will be making as much of it as I can leading up to early 2024, covering everything I can that I feel it is video worthy. That's going to be it, guys. Please subscribe, like the video, comment down below what you guys are excited for, what you want to see in Rebirth. So we did get a little bit of a teaser as what we're in store for. But that is going to be it. Until next time, peace and deuces. See ya.